Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100% honest with y'all. This was absolutely one of my most favorite chapters in a while. Like, I really enjoyed it. This chapter of One Piece is truly the essence of One Piece and what makes it so great and special. I mean, it was just perfect. Perfect. Can't even explain how much I loved watching Saturn get turned into Swiss cheese. But if you like cool and chill One Piece content, think about giving us a like or a sub, as it is greatly appreciated. We are on our road to 1K. Join the Cold City. Back to the chapter, one of the biggest things that was highlighted for me personally was just that how big of assholes the Gorosei really are. Like, they're terrible, and it's almost like they're just evil for the sake of being evil, in specific Saturn. Like, instead of just hopping on the ship and trying to destroy it so they can't escape and all that, he hops on the ship and the first thing he does is to look to the people he messed up the most. Like, the people he most traumatized is who he goes for first, Bonny and Kuma. Like, bro just doesn't let up. This chapter is a little all over the place, but it comes together super well. I like that Luffy is just tired of Saturn BS. Like, he knows that they have to get rid of him because, I mean, he just keep coming back, and at this point, he's terrorizing Bonny and Kuma. Like, terrorizing them. Like, he gotta go. As Luffy is fending off Saturn, Bonny goes back into her Nika form and she goes on the offensive. Like, she gets back into it. I like that Oda did this again because it just shows that people were worried for no reason. Bonny is not about to become the next Nika. She's not about to, surpass Gear 5 or nothing like that. I think people really just stretched it. I think this kind of comes down to Bonny pretty much living out her dream and like her wildest fantasy. She's literally fighting with her hero right here, right now. Like, I think it's one of those things. It's more so Luffy is helping her liberate herself and gain her own freedom. It's very reminiscent of the same way that Luffy helped out Momo back in Wano, and even further back the way he helped out Kobe back in the beginning of the story. Bonny begins to think about and focus on a bit all of the terrible things that Saturn has not only done to her, not only her father, her mother. Like, he's been terrible to her entire family, and I mean, it's been a long time coming. All of this culminates in this super cool double page spread combo of Luffy and Bonny doing this super cool attack. What I think was great about this combo is that it wasn't nothing over the top, super flashy, nothing like that. It was very simple. Liberating Nika punch. Bonny delivers a smaller, like Gear 3 hockey punch, while Luffy does pretty much a Gatling. Of course, it's imbued with hockey, and it absolutely decimates Saturn. And I don't mean that figuratively. Like, I don't know if we've ever seen Luffy punch this hard. Like, he punched him so hard. He legit looks like a piece of Swiss cheese at the end of it. In the middle of all Luffy punches, you just see Bonny little fist hitting Saturn, and it's just so symbolic. Clearly, she didn't really hurt Saturn, but it's just retribution for everything they've been through. And I mean, it was a cathartic moment. It was definitely needed, and it wraps up the whole arc. Two things of note here in this section. One, we get this panel, and it's with Kuma, and he's seemingly sitting there like remembering a conversation between him and Vegapunk. We know that he's supposed to be pretty much just like an android robot. He's not supposed to have any Kuma in there left. Two, we get another panel right after the punch between Bonny and Luffy where Kuma is seeming, he's sitting there and he's kind of smiling just ever so slightly. So like, maybe there's hope that they might be able to restore Kuma, or maybe, he's in there because of his Buccaneer DNA or something like that. You know how old it is. He can make it do anything, for real. I will say I was of the mind that Kuma should have died this arc, but I mean, it is what it is. We know Oda really doesn't like killing people, but I thought it would have been perfect if he would have, went out here. Throughout this whole thing, though, Vegapunk message is still going on, and it's finally getting to the climax. He's pretty much saying that the day will come when the truth will be uncovered and the world is going to be turned upside down. Because, I mean, there has been so much hidden history, so much things that have been covered up between, races getting wiped out, people getting quieted. I mean, there's just so much. On top of that, he speaks about how pretty much the torch has been passed from the older generation to the new, and that inside the new generation, there are those who will not be oppressed and they will not be quieted. And I mean, I just love this because that's Luffy in a nutshell. Like, he's freedom embodied. Not to say that there aren't others who fit that bill, because I mean, there definitely are, but we know that Oda, he's talking about Luffy. Then Vegapunk brings up a very interesting topic. He knows that Roger had to know the truth. He had to know everything that he speculates on Roger knew. So, was it a coincidence that Roger, when he gave his final, hoorah about the One Piece, did he do this on purpose, kind of like pushing everyone towards this, or was it coincidental? I mean, we know it was on purpose. Roger believed, he knew that the world government was, bad, or like, that things were not the way they should be, and I feel like there is no coincidence, especially with something this big. There is no coincidences. Clearly he didn't know it would be Luffy, or he didn't know like who it would be that would, go on to find a One Piece or inherit his will. I'm sure he most likely thought it would be Ace, but I mean, who wouldn't think it would be their son? Like, that was a safe bet, but it wasn't. It was his will, though. All this culminates in Vegapunk saying that pretty much whoever finds the One Piece, they will have all the answers to the world. But I mean, he states it in kind of a way that makes the One Piece seem like it's something like more than we thought it would be. Me personally, I thought the One Piece would be like more so information as opposed to being something that's like power or something based like that. Vegapunk makes it sound like it's something more than information. Like, he makes it sound like it's some type of force or power. And he says, whoever finds it will decide the fate of the world. Now I'm thinking it has to be more than information. It has to be, I don't know, maybe it's another ancient weapon. Maybe it's something, I don't know. Like, now is the time that everyone's going to be speculating. Over this next 2-week break, I know it's going to happen. Like, yeah, we cut to Hachinosu, and of course all the pirates are pumped. But something of note is someone says the Commodore is not back yet. Now that gets me thinking, where is he? Where is Teach at? I don't think he's on his way from still fighting Law, and I do not think that he's on his way to Wano. You got to remember, they just got the information this same day. I don't think that's enough time for him to get the information, mobilize, and already leave. It sounds like he was never there yet. We go to Empty's Bluff Island, and of course, Buggy, he's turned up with his cronies, and you just have Crocodile and, my boy Mihawk just sitting there kind of looking and observing and just taking in the information that Vegapunk is saying. Another thing of note is that Vegapunk says that, of course, the power may not be found by someone that Joyboy would have wanted, and I think that's a great point. I think this really just points to the fact that we're going to get the war, or we're going to get the battle between Luffy and Blackbeard before the actual final war, which means that we're probably going to get Luffy finding the One Piece before he goes to, fight Emu. Luffy and Blackbeard, we know they're going to fight, of course, but I feel like Blackbeard needs to do something more to Luffy. Like, he didn't kill Ace. At the end of the day, Ace found him. I mean, Ace found him. He didn't go find Ace. And they fought, he beat Ace, and he just turned him into the world government. Like, you can't be too mad at that, for real. I think he's gonna have to kidnap Nami or somebody like that, or like hurt somebody that Luffy really cares about to really get him upset. I think that's what it's gonna take. Because right now, yeah, if Luffy's seen him, it might be some static, but I don't think that that's enough to justify them just going to war with each other. As the chapter is closing out, though, we get this cool spread of who will most likely be the 12 most important characters moving forward in this ending saga One Piece. We get Buggy, Luffy, Blackbeard, Shanks, Aokiji, Kobe, Dragon, Emu, Sabo, Sakazuki, Figureland, and a shadowed character, which most people are thinking is maybe like Shanks' brother or somebody like that, which, I mean, it makes sense. Dragon hyped up the night, so they gotta have someone who's super strong. Clearly Figureland is strong, but he's from the old guard. He's the old generation. There has to be somebody in this current generation who is the strongest. This was absolutely a banger of a chapter, and I mean, I just kind of skimmed over it. There is so much more to deep dive and get into, like just a lot to break down, honestly. Who's the shadow character? Where is Blackbeard? Is Kuma still in there? Can he be repaired? What is the One Piece? Like, yeah, like I really love this chapter. I can't say enough good things about it. Definitely gonna have to do some more analysis and talk with you guys a bit in the comments and just see like where is this going, because right now I'm just gassed. If you made it this far, thank you. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you liked it, but more importantly, let me know what you think. What did you think of this chapter? Like, did you feel it, or is it just me? Am I overhyping it? Or yeah, let me know what you think. Stay cold.